What's poppin'? It's going down right now. This is yours truly, the legendary Guru. I'm here with my partner,
Solar, 5,000 Degrees in Cooking.
repping real music, real hip hop. That's right, it's been lost, but now it's found right here. And you're checking out Digital NBAF.
There it is. Peace.
They call me a connoisseur, she's screaming for more. Not cause of my fame or my rhyme aesthetics, it's cause of my ways and my fly magnetics.
He's got a feel so great and I only know his nature fly. Only do something to me that magnetic won't let me be. You don't even have to try. The pull on me so strong and I'm only holding on in pain. When he's around me I can't maintain.
As an artist, you know, I've always been the type that wanted to push boundaries and so forth. I didn't like to be labeled as one thing. Jazzmatazz came out of the fact that just because a lot of the groups around the same era as us were sampling jazz, and I was like, that was cool, and you know, I was into it myself, but I was like, let's take it to the next level, because I didn't really like being called jazz rap, just that. And then, but I was like, at the same time, how about I even take it further and get the actual jazz cats who we sample, get them in the studio, bring in world-class vocalists, mix it all up and see what happens, and bring the generations together. Because of course there were people who thought that hip-hop was just, you know, and rap was just some violent noise, and of course there was a lot of the hip-hop audience, the rap audience, who didn't know the history, and didn't really know that, hey, this comes from, you know, these break records come from jazz. So that was the initial concept, and then it grew from there with hip hop and jazz at the roots. But as it grew, you got elements of R&B, soul, funk, reggae, and so forth. As far as where it comes in the whole continuum, I think, you know, I've been influenced by those kind of artists who you really, you know, you never really cared about how old they were. They just came with some cool stuff, you know. Artists who were very transcending as far as generations, as far as race and so forth. I think that's where my influences come, i.e. a Bob Marley or something like that, or even a Prince, you know. So there's that element as well.
7 Grand is not just a record label, it's a movement.
Yes.
So in terms of a movement, and I hear what you're saying, that if we get people to wrap their heads around the fact that there was a root, but you know, what else do you want to come out of this movement that is 7 Grand Records?
I think what we want to, one of the things, and of course I'll pass the mic after I say this, is that, you know, the whole attitude that came out, let's say you had this era in hip hop that they call the golden era, and then you had after that, you know, this whole bling thing, and during that bling thing, a lot of stuff, the bling era, whatever. During that bling era, a lot of stuff changed, and we got away from what was cultural, what was lyrical, what was really going on, to too much of what I got. I mean, there used to be rhymes about, you know, material things, but it was more, you know, every other rhyme or every other 3 rhymes, but not everything being about that. And then you had you know, it created a sense of everybody wanting that instant gratification. And to me, as an artist, I feel like, you know, okay, you know, it's entertainment, but at the same time, you have to have some responsibility as far as how you affect the audience. And what happens is, what are you going to do? You're just going to sell out and do whatever just to make the big bucks and put forth stereotypical messages or messages that could be detrimental to those listening? That's where I have a problem. And that's why probably I don't have the Bentleys and the Rolls Royces and whatever, but that's okay with me. So I think that's an issue. You know, I don't think that every rapper, I'm not saying every rapper should be about the same. I think what makes hip-hop great is that we are different pieces to a puzzle, and everybody's coming with different perspectives and so forth. That's beautiful, but at the same time, with all of that, the materialism and so forth, I think that hurt the culture a lot. It hurt the art form, and I think that's why you have to have a $7 grand at this time to resurrect some things and to rebuild and to be those effective, intelligent leaders to bring hip hop forward to the future.
First real challenge, and I can say as a business, was because the first 3 were done on a major label with multi large budgets between them, and here we are challenged now to make an album that lives up to that quality, but at the same time do it with no money, basically.
We understand no money. Doing it with no money.
But at the same time, we had a wish list. So we wanted the Commons, we wanted the Damian Marleys, we wanted the Bobby Valentinos. So we wanted the Karen Wheelers.
And it forces you to be creative, though, like more creative with it, really bringing something forward that you probably didn't even know that you had.
Well, what it made us do was get on planes and go and see these people in the flesh. Look, we really need you on the record right now.
That's right.
We have no money.
I have to big up everybody that got involved on that. Because, yeah, I mean, they really looked out, and they really gave their whole, artistic presence to the record, you know what I mean? So big up to Damian, yes, Common, everybody. David Karen Wheeler, Vivian Green, Raheem Devon, Kem, Omar, Black Alicious, Slum Village, David Sanborn, Ronnie Laws.
Nice.
Well, immediately what's next is touring worldwide with 8.0. More dates coming in as we speak for the United States, and we got a European thing coming up in July. Besides that, it's about building new projects in the studio, documentary, film projects. Solar is brilliantly constructing some film projects. He's also working with K-Bone and High Power on their album. He has his album that he's working on, which is bananas. And then, the whole thing of expanding $7 grand. But that expansion will come as a result of the will of the people, as opposed to just, we've had offers already, but those weren't the right offers. We're not going to be, if I didn't sell out up to this point, I'm not going to sell out now. It doesn't make any sense. So the right situation to come for us, and it'll come. And then it's a question of developing the new talent and other things to bigger levels. And that's all very exciting. So I look forward to that. And, the future is bright for $7 grand.
As I inhale the haze, tip the scale, beat the maze, bearing scars from the days of when massa beat the slaves. I use the language of the drums to translate rhythmic messages to diffuse the hate. I refuse to wait, things are harder than before. Can't believe we haven't learned from the martyrs like Shakur. I'm harder to the core, now I channel my bitterness. I handle my business and leave no witnesses.